Hello, and welcome back to the Author's Corner. And we are speaking with one of the authors of the brand new e-book, It Depends on You, about her life and how she has embraced her life and her purpose and how it is affecting the world around her. So my name is Antique Alicia, and I'm the CEO of Your Own University. And beside me here is the one and only Myste Lynn, who brings light to loss. I mean, and beautiful is that. She's a master empowerment coach and the co-host of a YouTube show, The Death Chicks. Myste, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a part of Your Own University and being a top coach.
Thank you, Antika. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah. So everybody is so busy in this day and age, and I know that you're really busy and our audience is really busy. So what we're going to do today is we're just going to really dive in really deep and go pretty fast, keeping this to about 20 minutes. So our audience and your readers can really get the most from your tips and take what you've offered in the book to the next level with this interview. And everybody, if you have gotten to this interview somehow and haven't yet received your free copy of It Depends on You, our Your Own University e-media book, it is amazing and you should definitely get it at yourownuniversity.org is where you download that. You can also get it on Amazon and a whole bunch of other different places. So are you ready?
Ready to go.
All right. So what shifts in your life had you experienced your purpose? Had you embraced your purpose? Experience too, probably, but embrace your purpose.
Well, first of all, I have to say I love how you use the term deep dive because it's really been a deep dive. And the things in my life that have led me to embrace my purpose would have to be my experience of a loss and my experience of failure. And you know, I don't even really believe in the term failure anymore, but what I've seen happen again and again in my life when losses occur is that my world as I knew it, you know, walking along, going through the day-to-day, going through the motions, and then the world that used to be 3D, when you experience a major loss or failure, it flattens. And for me, this is a beautiful time, and it's a time of potential great awakening. So what would happen is after this has happened a number of times to me, I began to have epiphanies. And after a great loss, I would be sad for a short time. And then suddenly I would see the light. I would see this great light as it appeared as a result of this change and this challenge in my life. And when this really hit home for me was when my mother died. And as an empowerment coach who'd been seeking and yearning to make a difference in people's lives, it became painstakingly clear to me how much people fear death and how much, just how big the gap was between the huge emotion and the deep dive I was doing, feeling things I didn't think I was capable of, and then what people were saying when I met them. So the conversation abilities we have as humans when it comes to the topic of death and dying and great loss, I just noticed this huge gap. And death, I think, is the biggest loss. It may be like our number one fear that we'll all face. And for some reason, it seemed that people either didn't want to talk about it or maybe they didn't know how to talk about it. And this led me to the creation of my bittersweet breakthrough, or my peace process. And this is also the time that I decided I stepped up and I decided it's time to start talking about this. I thought that, you know, as a culture, we're really babies when it comes to talking about death and dying, and I wanted to change that. I was thinking, go ahead.
Oh, I just said beautiful. Yeah.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's not something that, you know, you wake up every day and say, yeah, I'm going to start talking to people about death and dying, grief, and loss. One thing I like to say, and it's kind of fun, and I'm all about bringing light to this topic, is that death's kind of like sex was in the 50s. Everyone's doing it, but no one's talking about it. And I don't. And so I set out on this mission, and I started connecting with people, and I connected with a wonderful woman, Patty Burgess, and she's now my co-host on the show, The Death Chicks. Patty named this, and I was reluctant, but here we are now. And as Patty says, tongue planted firmly in cheek. We have a lot of fun with the show. We interview experts in the field. We hear death stories, and our goal and my mission with this is simply to get people talking about death, dying, grief, and loss, and to do so in a fun way, to lighten things up in this area.
Wow, that's awesome. I literally almost lost my gut there. Oh, how funny. So, this topic is so huge, and you're right. It's like sex in the 50s. Everybody's doing it, but we can't get out of it either, right? Like it's something that happens to everything. So, so I absolutely love your quote in the book, "Darkness calls us up to greatness." I mean, that says so much. And as we're called up to greatness, I know that a lot of other things happened. And so you have tips around this. I know you have many programs around it and things too. But what are your top tips that you've learned to live your life by that now you pass on to others? That our audience can really take your work from the book to the next level with in their own life.
Yeah. Well, I would say the biggest one is embrace failure and embrace your losses. And as I mentioned earlier, you can never fail in life. Like this idea of failure, just don't believe it. Stop believing it. Honestly, it's all a learning experience. We're here, we're human beings, we're walking this earth, and anything that comes our way is an opportunity for learning, no matter how bad or how horrible or how much you don't understand it. Really, I believe it's a divine way of redirecting us or teaching us something, or perhaps even if we're open to it, and by this I mean if we've asked or if you've prayed to be of service while you're here on earth. And this is something I find myself doing when I just absolutely don't know what else to do, when I've had those really big ones and I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but please help me to be of service. So if you've made these requests before to your God and whatever way you conceive it, it could be that when these things happen, we may never understand the why. And some people get stuck on that. They're like, well, why? I don't, they really like to fit things into compartments and understand. And some things I believe are just beyond understanding. But I do know that when we're operating from a place of light, from a place of trust, then even though we don't understand something at a deeper level, we will know that it's all good. And for me, this is the sweet spot. And this can be the bittersweet moment when we stop running from what we fear. When we turn around and be ready to embrace them and look at them and say, look, I'm a human being. I'm living my life on this earth. I don't understand what's going on, but I'm not going to run from it. I'm not going to run from the dark feelings. I'm not going to run from the feelings of despair. I'm not going to run from that which I fear. I'm going to turn around, take a deep breath, and be ready to sit with it, because I know that I'm able to handle whatever is put on my path. I love your deep breath. I do a lot of breath work with the people I work with, and it's interesting. When I was studying to be this is another tip. When I was studying to be a master empowerment coach, one of the things we were encouraged to explore with our clients is this question. It's, what's the worst that could happen? Really, what's the worst thing that could happen? And as we explore this question together, as we began to walk towards and embrace our fears instead of pretending and hoping they'll never happen. This is when the magic starts. And this is when the fears somehow naturally begin to dissolve.
Yeah. I remember when I was just thinking, well, my marriage might be over, and my coach asked, well, what's the worst thing? What's, the worst? And I was like, well, I'd be working at a particularly large retail kind of store with infrared lights, and everybody's depressed and not taking care of themselves, and as an empath, I'd die. That's the worst.
There you go. You did it.
It's like, okay, take yourself there. How does that feel? If that's what God, with that, like, and I was like, oh, well, that wouldn't be that bad. And none of that has happened, obviously, but pretty awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So what is your mission now? And the second part of that question is, how can people get involved?
Okay. Well, my mission is really to bring people into the light. We're all born in the light. Children are in the light. But as adults, we can have setbacks and challenges and losses that can have the effect of taking us out of the light. And the beauty part is that fear cannot exist in the light. So when we connect with what I call the inner divine, and that's God in whatever way you conceive it to be, fear can't touch this. So I guess my mission really is twofold, but it's based on that premise. And one is simply to bring people who've fallen out of the light back into it, remembering who they are and their unique, that thing that's life. And the second is to address the big fear, and that's to bring light to our perception of death and dying. Right. And that one is what I do, the work on the Death Chick show with Patty. So we help people to see how end of life need not be feared, and how by starting conversations around this, it can actually be fun. We've had so many fabulous, fun guests, so many chuckles and deep belly laughs. It's a great thing. We've been at it almost a year, and that's super great. So you can find us if you Google the Death Chicks, and you'll find us there. The other part, and this is the part I really love, and that's working with individuals. And the reason I love it so much is because each person's story of loss is so fascinating. Each person has such unique gifts to offer. And really, it's their times of darkness sometimes veils them. It hides their unique gifts to them. And my job is to connect people again with their inner light. So I work with women who are longing to be free from the weight, the darkness, whatever it was that made their world come crashing down, and they've been holding this weight. Many have guilt, and they may have been carrying that for a long time. But it's really women who are ready to do the inner work and to embrace the dark. And trust me, Antika, many are not there yet. And there is a certain comfort to the darkness. So be wary of that if you've been living with grief or darkness. There is a certain comfort, because when we do step into the light, the world gets brighter. But it can be a bit scary at first. But for those of you who are ready, women who are ready to release the past hurts, women who are yearning, who feel that call, who don't want to carry the guilt anymore, who are ready to overcome fear. I have a program. It was really my download of everything I learned, and that's called Bittersweet Breakthrough. It's not a quick fix, but it's for people who are ready, who feel the dark and feel the light calling to them stronger than the dark that they're living in now. So how they can contact me, is that the next? Have I covered everything, Antika?
I think you have. Yeah. I mean, it's just beautiful.
Okay.
And yeah. So how would somebody work with you? Do you have a free offer, something for everybody to go even deeper with you that have gotten the book? And where would they get that?
Yeah, for sure. So first of all, if you feel drawn to anything that I've said, feel free to email me, Myste, Myste, like mystery, but Myste at bittersweetblessing.com. And if you want to go deeper into my full course, you can learn about that. Bittersweetblessing.com/overcome fear. And my free gift for you is at bittersweetblessing.com/overcoming fear. So they're very close.
Very close.
The free mini course is like the process to overcoming fear, bittersweetblessing.com, overcoming fear. And then if you want to do the deeper dive, it's bittersweetblessing.com, overcome fear. So it's like a stepping up, and I hope people will step up. It's all about stepping up, really realizing that our perceived setbacks, they're really gifts in disguise, and they're calling us up to greatness.
Mm-hmm.
And the divine, I really believe, wants everyone to live up to their human potential, and the world becomes lighter. And if we have fear, we can't do this. So it's the Overcoming Fear mini course is a great way to start. And one thing I want to add before I go is that I've set up a coupon code for listeners. So if they do want to do the deep work, they can use the coupon code for me. So it's the number 4, capital ME, and that will give them $100 off the deep work course.
Beautiful.
And if you're from the States or from Canada, I live next to the Arctic Ocean. I'm looking out at it right now beyond my computer screen. It'll be way less money than you see on the screen because of the monetary difference. So I am so thankful for this. I hope everyone has learned something. It's been really a pleasure and a gift to share this. So before I sign off, I guess my last message to everyone is to embrace your dark. Stop living in fear and just open up and look at it. Go those places where you want to run from. Thanks,
Beautiful.
Antika.
Yeah. So everybody, oh my gosh, don't we have the most amazing tools at our fingertips now with It Depends on You. We believe at Your Own University that life is about all of us working together. And as Bob Proctor said in The Abundance Factor that I watched last week, that I probably quote in everything, know yourself. Know yourself. That's what we're here for. We're here to know ourselves. And I believe that as it is my message. So at Your Own University, we have these amazing coaches like Myste here with these incredible programs and services ready to help you to really know yourself, not to teach you, not to tell you who you are, but to really allow you to open up to the discovery of who you are so you can define yourself. Because when you define yourself, then it really does depend on you. You know where you're at, you know your path in life, and you then have to figure out how to execute it, which is the fun part, right, Myste? Execution of
it's all a
of
journey.
our purpose.
It's a wonderful journey.
So everybody, thank you so much. It does depend on you. We're so grateful to have you in our lives, and keep in touch and reach out. Enjoy the free gifts, and we'll talk to you soon.